Well, Mark, it's a pretty responsible job. What attracted you about it?
It's a great job, isn't it? You know, it's the opportunity to be able to really influence Welsh cricket and Glamorgan cricket, and you know, I've got a great relationship with the club from my playing days. I've had some time away now, and I'm really excited about the role.
Sounds like a pretty wide brief in terms of recruitment, contracts and development.
Yeah, it is quite a wide brief. Obviously, Hugh Morris has stepped down to concentrate on his chief executive work, so he's passed some of that work on to me. But the idea is that it's a wide brief. You know, it's not just about looking at results on the field for Glamorgan first team. It's about looking at academy, the second team, the pathway, Welsh cricket in general, and just trying to make Glamorgan that pinnacle of Welsh cricket. You know, it's not just about Glamorgan winning games. It's about Welsh cricket thriving, and that's hopefully the job that I'm going to do.
How do you think your 18 years in the first team, 3 years as captain and then 2 years with the PCA?
It's helpful, but it's amazing how quickly things move on after you've finished. You know, I've been lucky to go into a job post-playing with a professional cricketers association, which has given me a host of skills which will really help me into this role and kind of accelerated my development, I think, for a role like this. You know, we do all sorts of different things at the PCA, and a lot of them actually tie in with the role that this is. Yes, having a few games behind me as a player is helpful as well, and you know, I do know how the club works, but I think it's the external experience which is really going to stand me in good stead.
How quickly do you think you can have an influence on results on the field then?
Yeah, I mean, on-field results are a really difficult one. I think there's no use in shying away that results last year simply weren't good enough for the talent of players that we were putting on the field, and that's something which we have to address. There's already been changes made previously, but it's about trying to make sure that the players that we've got are performing at or above their capabilities. Any players that we bring in, then they need to add to the culture and add to the skill set of the side.
And presumably there's some immediate recruitment to be done. We've got promises of another batsman plus a potential stand-in for Sean Marsh if he's with the Aussies.
Yeah, well, we've already brought Billy Rutan, who's a very good signing. He's got a huge amount of potential to now get out there and play and show, and we are talking to another batsman about bringing him in as well. And the news about Colin Ingram going to the IPL is a bit of a double-edged sword. It's fantastic for Colin to be playing at the IPL, fantastic for Glamorgan to have a player out playing in that competition, but it does leave a hole for that 50-over competition at the start of the season. So look, that's one of the many things I'm going to have to look at when I start the job.
There's been a lot of jam tomorrow promised for Glamorgan supporters over the last few years. There's been a T20 finals day, a one-day final as well, but success has been a bit sporadic over the last 10 years or so, hasn't it?
Yeah, success has been sporadic, and I guess when you talk about my playing experience as a player, I was lucky. I played in some very good Glamorgan sides, and I actually played in some pretty poor ones as well. And you know, you take the experience from playing in both. And look, success is difficult. This is a professional sport, but you know, we're not in a situation where we can't push for it. As you said, we're only 2 years shy of a T20 finals day, and that could have gone a different way as well. So we have got the capabilities to go out there and have success. I truly believe that last season was a poor reflection on the quality of players that we've got. Hopefully that's just a small time blip, and it's now about getting those players on course.
What about the perennial balance to be struck between promoting local talent and making sure results are good in the short term?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of push for local talent, and there is some good local talent. The key is that the Welsh players that play are good enough to go out there and play and perform as well. We saw some very good performances last year. Your Kieran Carlson's, Connor Brown had a fantastic performance at the Oval, and guys like Lucas Keary are coming through and playing good cricket as well. So you know, we're not going to push any Welsh players that aren't good enough to play. What we are going to do is give any Welsh players with the talent the opportunity and capabilities to be able to get as far as they can in the game. And
what about the process of recruiting the head coach, which is one of your first responsibilities, I guess? Yeah,
so that responsibility is going to fall on me. As I said, I start in February, so you know, time is ticking on, and you know, that's something I've got to look at. You know, are we going to have the requisite time to be able to go through a thorough enough process to get the right person in before the start of the season? We're really lucky that we've got Matt Maynard as interim head coach at the moment. He's been doing all the winter preparation. Look, I've got to look at it. I'd have absolutely no problem with Matt Maynard leading us into the season as interim head coach, but you know, that's, as you said, that's probably first thing on the agenda, so something to look at.
How strong a candidate would he be for a permanent role, having done it before?
Of course he'd be a strong candidate. You know, he's got a very good CV, not just at Glamorgan, but also around the world. But you know, this is a club with a huge amount of potential. You know, big ground. It's got a support base. It's got some talented young players. So you know, we can't just think that we won't get some outstanding candidates from around the world as well. You know, that's what we'd expect to attract as well. But yeah, Matthew Mayer would certainly be a good candidate.
And there's always the balance to be struck, isn't there, between what supporters label as jobs for the boys when things are going badly, and then they say they want else people in charge generally.
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be something that's going to be bandied around, that it's, you know, jobs for the boys and another former player coming back to Glamorgan. But I think I've got a profile which kind of fits both roles. You know, I've got a background at the club. I grew up supporting Glamorgan. I wanted to play for Glamorgan, went on and did that. But I've also had a great amount of external experience as well, not just since I finished playing, but also through my playing career, working with a PCA, some academic stuff as well. So hopefully I balance that out. But you're always going to get that sort of thing being said.
Best of luck with the new job, Mark.
Thanks, mate.